Hello friends and welcome back to our YouTube channel IT Support, and today we are going to learn about Grafana, the analytics platform for all your metrics. So what is Grafana? Grafana is an open source data visualization and monitoring suite. Grafana allows you to query, visualize, alert on and understand your metrics no matter where they are stored. It creates, explore, and share dashboard with your teams and foster a data-driven culture. So let's go to the official website to understand more about the features of Grafana. So visualize the fast and flexible client-side graph with multitude of options, panel, plugin for many different way to visualize matrix and logs. Dynamic dashboard. Create dynamic reusable dashboard with template variables that appear drop downs at the top of the dashboards. Now explore matrix. So explore your data through ad hoc queries and dynamic drill down, split view, and compare different time range query data and source side by side. Explore logs, so experience the magic of switching from matrix to logs with preserved label filtering. Quickly search through all your logs or streaming them live. Alerting. Visually define alert rule for your most important metrics. Grafana will continuously evaluate and send notification to the system like Slack, PagerDuty, VectorOps, Jenny, and emails. So these are the features of Grafana. So Grafana is a very beautiful monitoring tool. The graphs and everything are very beautiful. So let's start with the installation of Grafana. So for this, I'm using RPM based Linux, that is CentOS, and here is the link for the installation. So installing on RPM based Linux, that is CentOS, Fedora, so this is the steps to install the Grafana. So here you can download and then you can install, or you can create a repository and then you can use yum repo to install the Grafana. So I will use this method. First I will create the repository and then I will install it. And here is my virtual machine. Let me show you the IP address of this machine. The IP address is 192.168.233.157. So in this machine, first let me create the repository file. Just insert this information in this file, save it, and then go to the installation of Grafana using yum. So installation is completed. Then I need to start Grafana server service, but my CentOS is 7.6, so service will not work. I need to use sysctl. So we need to reload the daemon and then we need to start it. Grafana server is a service that we need to start. Started. Let's check the status of the service. So it's running. Now we need to enable it. Let's get enabled. So for logging, if you want to see the logs, if you are getting any errors, so you can check logs in grafana.logs file. So these are the logs for Grafana. Let's out from here. Then this ini file. This is the main configuration file for Grafana. So any configuration you want to do, like sending alerts from the Grafana in your emails or any other configuration that you want to do with the Grafana, you need to refer this file only. So the Grafana is installed, and let's start to explore it using this link. So this is the standard port using by Grafana, and we need to replace this host name with the IP address of this machine. So the IP address is here. You need to replace it, and if you press enter, you will get the portal of Grafana. The default username for the Grafana is admin, username admin, and the password is admin. Now you need to set the new password. I'm setting the same, admin. New password is already set. Now this is the dashboard for Grafana. So installation part is completed. Now you need to add data source. The data source is important part because whatever logs, whatever the information uh, system collects will display in Grafana. So Grafana use that data source and display you the information. So for this, if you add the data source, you will get these options, right? Prometheus, Graphite, OpenTSDB, and InfluxDB. So in my case, I'm going to use InfluxDB. So if you select it, you need to put the information over here, but before that, you need to install InfluxDB. So coming to the slide, we have done this part. We have installed, we have explored it, username admin and the password is admin. Now we are going to install data source. So these data source is a time series data source databases. You are not installing SQL type of database. You are installing time series database. So what is time series database? A time series database is a software system that is optimized for storing and serving time series through associated pair of the time and value. So this data is related with the timestamp. So this is called time series database. So we are going to use InfluxDB. So in order to install InfluxDB, you can go in the official website and then you can install InfluxDB. InfluxDB is working with Telegraf. Telegraf is the package or service that collects the data from the machine and send it to InfluxDB, and then InfluxDB store the data and then data will be displayed on your Grafana. So you need to install both these service if you are using InfluxDB. Uh, so every time this InfluxDB server is a separate server you can create or you can install on the same server. Let me show you how you can do that. Uh, just go to this link. And InfluxDB is also providing cloud-based server, but here we are using open source. And then you need to go on InfluxDB download. If you come here, you will get the installation link for Telegraf and InfluxDB. So in our case, we are using version 1.7.9. For Ubuntu, for CentOS, we are using these steps. So let's download the package and then we will use yum local install for this. So first we are downloading the package. So the package is got downloaded InfluxDB. Now let's do a yum local install. So InfluxDB is installed. So we have done. Now we need to start InfluxDB. After starting, we need to enable it. After enabling, we need to create one user in this database. So for this, and after installation, you can see uh, this is the standard port for InfluxDB. So if you want to use InfluxDB with the Grafana, we need to use this URL, right? And for creating user, we need to type command sorry, influx, and type the command create user. I'm creating user admin with password using the same password admin with all privilege. All right. So user is got created. Let's check if it is created or not. Show users. So here you can see admin user is got created. Now exit from here. And one more configuration you need to do, you need to tell auth enabled is equal to true for this user. So you need to go inside the influxdb conf file, and you need to search for auth. Just uncomment this line is false, just do it true. This is true now, and you will find it inside the HTTP section. Save it. You can create a separate InfluxDB server, or you can install on same Linux box where the Grafana is installed. So we are done with the InfluxDB. Now we need to install in Telegraf. So for that, again we need to download the package. So I'm going here and just clicking the Telegraf link and just download the Telegraf package. So whatever machine you want to monitor on Grafana, that machine should have Telegraf installed on it. The Telegraf will push the information to the InfluxDB database, which is installed on the main Linux box on where Grafana is installed. So we will do a little configuration inside the InfluxDB configuration file where we will provide the URL of the InfluxDB server, and we will define the database name as a Telegraf and username and password which is created in InfluxDB. So the Telegraf package is got downloaded. Now we need to do a yum local install and Telegraf. So it is installed. Now we need to go inside the configuration file of uh, InfluxDB. Sorry, we need to. So we need to go on Telegraf configuration file and needs to do configuration. So here we need to mention the IP address or the URL of the InfluxDB data server. So if you come here, this is the IP address where the InfluxDB is installed, and this is the port number 8086, and this is set. Then need to search for database. Here is the username to define admin, and the password is admin. Here is the database. Database we are keeping the same as the Telegraf. Okay, so this is set for Telegraf. Let's check for InfluxDB configuration also. All right. So we have done with the InfluxDB and Telegraf. Let's restart the service. Grafana server, restart InfluxDB, and restart Telegraf. Sorry. So all set. Now we are done with the installation of InfluxDB and the Telegraf. Now the next step is to configure your dashboard inside the Grafana. So we are inside the data. So we are inside the Grafana dashboard, and we are going to configure InfluxDB inside the Grafana where we left. Add the data source, select InfluxDB, and we are using the default. So here we need to type 8086. All right, and the database is Telegraf. We have already defined. This is the default database name. Username is admin and the password is admin. Now save. It is saying network error, bad gateway. So let's refresh it. So the database name is Telegraf. Just copy and paste it here. Same now. Okay. So the mistake, let me check. So guys, I removed the InfluxDB package and reinstalled after reinstalling. Done the same configuration, admin, and if I save and test, it is saying data source is working and data this InfluxDB is now configured. Now go on the main home page. Now let's start with creating a dashboard. So for this, I want one more machine to monitor in Grafana. So we are monitoring a local host as well as one more VM machine in the Grafana. So for these, we need to install Telegraf in that machine also. So for that, let me start one more machine. So guys, this is another machine. Its name is Mail Client 1. This is another machine, and we have installed on Grafana is installed on Baymax. We need to install Telegraf in this machine also. So if you see, the Telegraf package is already here. Now we need to do a yum local install Telegraf. So package is already installed. Now we need to go on the configuration page of Telegraf. So- and here we need to define, you need to define the URL of the Grafana machine. So here it is 192.168.233.157. This should be the URL of InfluxDB, not the Grafana. So wherever you install InfluxDB, you need to put the URL of that machine InfluxDB. So we have installed InfluxDB on the same server where Grafana is installed. So we are using the same URL, and the URL is 192.168.233.157. 8086 is the port number. Database we are using the same Telegraf, and username and password is admin, right? So let's save it and restart the service. Sorry, start the service. Telegraph, enable it. We have enabled it. Now let's go inside the home page of the Grafana, and then let's start creating a dashboard for our machine, Baymax, this host, and this host. So we have two hosts, Baymax and mail client. So we will create a two dashboard. One is for Baymax and second is for mail client. We will monitor everything which is going on in these machines. Okay, so I'm making another video for this, stopping here. So just go and watch that video. Thank you. Bye bye.